My guest today is a single mum of three running three businesses, a smoke shop that's doing 300,000 a year, building out a food truck and selling handcrafted products online as well, all at the same time. But everything that Melena's about to tell you, she's doing it right now. So welcome to the Joe Show, Melena.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here.
So running multiple businesses across like really drastically different industries.
Yeah.
And being a mama, like how do you
Yeah.
make the numbers stack up in terms of money and time?
It's definitely, we're all about routine here. We're all about schedules, routines. We leave the house the same time every morning. We wake up the same time every morning. We eat dinner the same time. We go to bed, baths, all that stuff. So it's very important because we have to schedule time to make products. We have to be able to brainstorm, come up with new menu ideas, new ingredients, new recipes, searching for quality ingredients. I rely heavily on my family, very heavily. My mom is the one that started pretty much this whole thing with her vanilla. It started as a vanilla business, Bakeshop Betty's, and it quickly grew into something way bigger where she's doing cocktails and infusion kits and teas and lemonades, and everything is homemade, everything's organic. All of our products come from all over the world. Everything is just comes down to schedule to make sure that, everything has its time, everything has its place. Everybody still feels loved and gets the attention that they need.
We better back up a bit then. And I was going to get
Yeah.
into the bake shop, but give me the origin story of how that started.
Okay. So I'm going to try not to get emotional.
Oh,
But it started with my mom and my grandma. So my grandma was a diabetic. She always would like complain that the sugar-free products were always like so much more expensive because I mean they were for the longest time. It was so hard to find sugar-free products, let alone at a reasonable price. So my mom started making sugar-free products for her. My grandma always would tell her like, you should make this into a business, this is so good, whatever. But my mom was like, no, this is something that I do for you, like this is, our thing. Well, my grandma ended up passing away a few years ago. And after that, my mom really kind of decided to put it into a business just to kind of keep like my grandma's spirit alive. So it started out as just kind of like something to, I feel connected to my grandma still. Then it just kind of took off. Everybody loved her products. She started at local farmers markets and then she was across the state. And then she was across the Midwest. And, magazines wanted to interview her locally. She was, getting talked to about contracts with like major companies to take her vanilla. Just started from there. And then, I had the smoke shop already. I moved back home to Michigan from Florida. I wanted to have something to do here that would kind of, I could do with my family, but would also bring in good money or, have something for to pass down to my kids. And also, I don't want to go work a 9 to 5. I want to be able to pick my kids up from school. I want to be able to be the ones to be cheering them on when they're at their soccer game or choirs or, whatever the case may be. And we landed on Batter Up Buttercup, where we were doing corn dogs and mini pancakes and waffle sticks and um, mini donuts, hopefully this week. We do have a lot of ideas for the future too to expand it. But for right now, that's kind of just where we're at, just through networking and just getting out there and meeting people and interacting. And we were able to get Batter Up booked for across the entire state. And then also, what we're really excited about is a specific farmers market that has never allowed any food trucks ever. And we got in and they wanted us to come. So we're really excited about that one.
most business owners that I work with, they do underestimate those relationships and they overestimate the ads. Do you think that there's a ceiling to the relationship based approach, a point where you would need paid visibility to keep growing, or is it just not a thing right now?
I really have just always found that networking is has gotten me everywhere. It put me in the path to buy the smoke shop. I've never paid for any advertising for it. I use a point system, which sends out like promotional text messages. You can come in and people get points for every dollar they use. So, I mean, I do pay for that service. So I'm not sure if that's considered paid marketing.
Definitely call it an avenue of, and that was actually what I wanted to ask you
Right.
about was using like
Yeah.
simple high margin promotions and asking you to
Yeah.
walk me through one. What sort of
Yeah.
return would you say that that's bringing you? It's an interesting angle.
For sure. Yeah. It's called Five Star. It's a point system, like I said, and I love it. Honestly, I think I pay maybe like 250 a month for it.
Hmm.
And really, you really get out of it what you put in. So if you're sending out, promotional text, if you're doing good promos, I definitely see it's worth it. There's times that I put out promotional messages, and in a week, it's brought me an additional $1,400. It also gets people remembering, oh yeah, like I remember that smoke shop. I love that place. So it definitely gets people, gets you back on people's mind, keeps you relevant. And it's fun. It's a good way to interact with your customers, because you can put your personality into it. You can kind of send, fun text messages or anything if there's stuff going on with celebrities or, whatever, just little fun things. I like to try to make it fun for my customers and have them want to come in.
Was going to say that's actually a really good use of text message marketing. Email marketing is normally still a very high ROI for repeat
Mhm.
business. And
Right.
often I see people running text campaigns where they're paying to send all these texts and they're actually not bringing an ROI on it. There's a lot of
Yeah.
talk about it, but often they're not great. I've seen
Yeah.
a lot of people lose money on those sorts of things. But the way you're doing it is with a little bit of character and spark. So bringing those customers back. What would you say for
Mhm.
bringing in new customers for the smoke shop?
I think it's really important to have people reviewing you. So we'll give incentives for that sometimes. If you're a new customer, leave us a review. You'll get $5 off next time you come in. Or I kind of give my employees a little bit of free reign on that because they're creative, they're fun, and they can always come up with something that they know is reasonable. They're the ones interacting with the customers every single day, so they kind of know what people are looking for.
Google Business Listing is still, I will say, the most underrated free channel for small businesses to start and work it. Like they really should be working it. And sounds like
Yeah.
you're doing a good job on that. Something else that
Yeah.
you're doing well that most people would say not to do, you've deliberately hired friends and family. And a lot of
Yeah.
people would say, don't hire friends and family.
I know.
Why did you do it anyway?
Because I've always said if you are somebody that thinks that you shouldn't work with your friends and family, then you probably don't have the right friends and family. So for me, I've always been about our tribe, like my whole life, um, just always have had to work together as a team, our family, my friends. I don't think I've really ever had friends that I didn't consider family. We're always there. When the time came for me to be able to buy a business, like the first thing I did was like, all right, like who would this benefit? Who else can I help?
If you had, have you had a situation where somebody's underperformed that you've hired and you've had to sort of have a tougher conversation with them? How did you handle that?
I gave birth in November, so I was in Michigan recovering, and pretty much just left it to my staff to run. It wasn't anything personal, but just at the end of the day, the job is really it's a sales position, and sales isn't for everybody. So when I first started in sales, I had probably had no idea what I was doing, but every manager I had would be like, okay, you have it. You just need to, do this, this, or this. So it's really about just trying to get somebody to step outside of that box of comfortability. That's the way you have to approach it is just more of like, I firmly believe that you're not a leader if you can't duplicate yourself. So it's not very comfortable because again, everybody is my friend, everybody is my family. But that also kind of makes me feel a little bit oddly more comfortable because I know that they know where I'm coming from and that I would never just like nitpick or nag. Whereas maybe if it was somebody that I just hired off of Indeed or, a walk in, they might not know who I am as a person and
Mm.
it could be taken differently.
If somebody's listening and they're thinking, "Oh, I want to hire my cousin," are there any pointers you'd give them to think about before they do that? Or
It's person by person. So you have to know your relationship with your cousin. Do they know you? You have to also just know that you're a solid person. You have to know that you're always going to make the right choice and be professional regardless of what happens because there's money involved. There's a lot of money involved. There's people's livelihoods involved. So feelings can get hurt easily. People can feel disrespected very easily. So you always just have to like keep that in mind that no matter what comes up, is this a person that I can maintain a respectful conversation or disagreement with and still go home and hang out with them at the end of the day?
yeah, that's certainly true. So, just how do you shape the businesses so that you can be comfortable running them long term?
Mm.
Suits who you are.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess with the smoke shop we'll start because that one is really my baby. Like, because I feel like I got that in a very great time in my life. It really brought a lot to my life. So that one I've piece by piece I've really been making it my own, but we're just starting out putting together ideas for merchandise. So I've been working, like for instance, my ex-husband, he works there right now. So he's really great with graphic design. So he's been putting together really good designs for me. So there's like little pops of my personality. My shop manager, Kong, I rely on him heavily. He's my brother-in-law, basically. And he just knows me. He gets me. So when he's at the warehouse, like yeah, she's gonna like this. Like she's gonna think this is cool.
Have you had a moment where you might have come close to quitting?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I think I did earlier today.
Oh,
Because because it's overwhelming. It's very overwhelming for sure. And those are the moments where, I just have to recognize like it's okay to have those moments. Like it's okay to feel like quitting. If I don't feel like quitting, then I'm probably not doing what I want to be like where I want to be going.
is there a thing that you know now that you wish someone had told you before you started in business generally?
I think, and I learned this with the smoke shop, is staying ahead of what's going on in the industry, whether it's different vapes that are being banned or allowed, and just little stuff like that, that as a first time major business owner, I never really thought of. And so those things would kind of come at me. And like, there's times where I was like, oh, shoot, like I was not expecting to not make that 10 grand this month. So it's just stuff like that where you kind of have to just always be aware of what's going on in your industry.
So, Batter Up Buttercup, Bake Shop Betty's. I actually just need to go back to your standards for that one. Is would she
Yes.
have loved it? You know,
Yeah. And I really think she would. I think my grandma would have been really proud of everything that my mom's
yeah.
made this do for sure.
Every product would grandma have loved this is kind of a good filter, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. No,
so,
definitely.
so you've got Batter Up Buttercup, Bake Shop Betty's, and the Smoke Shop. Where do you sort of see yourself in the next couple of years? I mean, I could ask about every business individually. Where you're going to take it from here, but I have a feeling it's more about who you will be and what you'll be doing.
Exactly. So that's definitely the question of the decade, I would say. My goal is to shift into real estate. I'm talking about to try to invest into Detroit, really try to renovate some of the houses that are in the neighborhoods there, and because that's where we're from. We're big about Detroit here, so we want to put back into the city for sure. So I really think that's going to be my next big venture. It's kind of something that for years and years I've always kind of kept tabs on to kind of see, what's going on and what the house market's looking like. And I mean, it's lower than ever, now. And I've actually just, again, I've networked and I've just met the right people that are also interested in, teaming up and really putting our foot into it. So I'm hoping by the end of the year this year that we'll be able to get some things planned or at least on the table.
I'm glad that you've put it out there. Actually, you just never know who's listening.
It's Motor City. Come on, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back.
Yes. So where can people find you if they want to book the food truck or order from Bakeshop Betty's or
Yeah.
become a real estate partner and revitalize Detroit with you?
Yeah. So for Bake Shop Betties, the best way to order is bakeshopbetties.com. Batter up, I would say follow us on Instagram or Facebook right now. Um, just to kind of keep up with where we're going to be going over the summer. And with House of Smoke, again, just follow us on Instagram. It's houseofsmoke.fl. We have a lot of exciting things planned for the smoke shop this year. If you're in Florida, stop in. If you mention the podcast, we'll give you a discount. We'll give you a free a cigar, whatever you want.
Be a fun experiment to see if we get hurt in
Yeah,
Florida.
right, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Melena Costello, thank you for your time on the Joe Show. It's so great to meet you.
Thank you. It was so nice meeting you. Great talk.